I know I told you I would post a video on why you should trust God this weekend. So I'm just putting this together. So it's going to be a few minutes. So hang in there with me, friend. I want to ask you, why do you trust anyone? Why does a little child trust their dad when they're saying, pick me up, that their dad's going to pick them up and hold them and not drop them? Why do you trust the people that you share your secrets with or your deepest desires or your dreams? Why do you trust them? You trust them because they're safe. Why are they safe? Because you know they love you. And this is the same with your Father in heaven. We trust our Father in heaven because he loves us. Now, before you click off this video, because you've heard it 1,000 times, yes, I know God loves me. Let's really just talk about that for a second, because I'm going to tell you that I confess that I haven't always felt like God loved me. There have been many, many times where I felt like he didn't hear me, where I was left in a circumstance that was uncomfortable or horrible, where he didn't fix what I was asking him to fix. I know there is suffering out there. I know there are disasters. I know that there are horrible things that happen to all of us in this earth. And so it causes us, whether it's deep in our heart and we don't really acknowledge it, or whether we actually say it out loud, it causes us to ask ourselves, does God really love us? Does God really love us? It is the one thing that Satan fears the most, the love of God. Why? Because the love of God is transforming and he doesn't want you transformed. The love of God sets you free and he wants to keep you captive. So let's talk about this. Does God really love you? Well, it comes down to a matter of faith. Are you really going to believe what God says? But it's not just what God says, it's what he did. So he didn't just say, I love you. No, he put words into action. John 3:16, one of the most famous verses you already know, but let's look at it. For God so loved the world, and what? He did what? He gave his only son. He gave his only son. Can you imagine, if you're a parent today, can you imagine taking one of your children, or maybe your only child, and not only asking them to die, but demanding that they go through extreme torture and suffering first? To die for people that are your enemies? Can you imagine doing that? What kind of love is this? Jesus says, there is no greater love that a man has, that he lays down his life for a friend. But yet Jesus didn't lay down his life for us as friends. Jesus laid down his life for us while we were yet sinners and while we were yet his enemies. He died for you. This is the extent of his love. He left his perfect existence in heaven, where he was not constrained by flesh and blood. He was not subject to hunger or pain or thirst or need or anything. He didn't need anything or need anyone, and he left that existence to come down here to earth, starting as an infant and needing someone to care for him and help him, and having to walk in the shoes that we walk. Why? Because he loves you. He didn't just die. You see, he didn't just die on the cross for you. He left everything in glory to come down and live as a human on earth and experience what you experience, the pain, the suffering, the loss. Hebrews says, in all ways, he was tempted like we are, yet he was without sin. He has experienced everything that you have experienced, and yet he was without sin. And why did he do this? Because he loves you. His love for you and his love for me is greater than anything we can even begin to comprehend. We can't begin to comprehend this. Think about this. Jesus said, when I leave this earth, I will send to you my own spirit. And my Father, John 14, my Father and I, those who obey me and love me and believe my words, my Father and I will make our home within them. The God of the universe, your creator, comes and makes his home within the created. Why? Because he loves you. Because he wants more than anything for you to be in a relationship with him. He wants more than anything for you to experience the joy, the peace, the gentleness, the kindness, all of that, the best that life can give you. And he knows the only place for that is when you're in relationship with him. And so even when it feels like he doesn't love you, it is because he is taking you through a journey to teach you, to mold you, to transform you. To transform you. And so friend, that is why we should trust God, because he loves us.